Can you put some light on it? And also, she's been charged now with disrupting a class, which I guess is a law in your state of South Carolina. So, because I'm sort of putting all this down on a list, and I apologize, but I wanted to get it all in because of the short time we have with you.
Yes, sir. And let me see if I can address as
All
many
right.
of those things as I can. I met with her mother and Shakara, who is the child. I met with both of them, and then later met with the mother and the grandmother. So the mother and the grandmother are both alive and well. I'm not sure about Shakara's time in the school because she is charged criminally with disturbing schools, a charge that in South Carolina several years ago, when I say several, probably a decade ago, was used far too much, and so many kids were arrested that the Republican-controlled General Assembly changed the charge and amended it down to a 90-day charge, one that carries a $1,000 fine. But it is still overly broad and used far too much. So she does have pending criminal charges. So my interest was not in how long she had been in the school or her needs. I didn't get into that part of it. It's how to defend her on this criminal charge and deal with the brutalization that she suffered at this officer's hand.
All right, so we now have clarification. Her mother is not dead. She
That's right.
is
Her mother nor her grandmother.
nor her grandmother. She is not in foster care, or she is in foster care.
I can tell you that her mother and her grandmother are not dead, and I met with her again at 5:30 in the morning with the mother and the child. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
And I appreciate it.
And will you be representing the other student? No, she has separate counsel, doesn't she?
No, I represent her as well. The other counsel is a young lady named Simone Martin, who also works in my law firm.
Oh, okay. So you're representing both students.
That's correct.
I got to tell you, and this is just my opinion. I just think that's a travesty to have her charged with disruption, because it was my understanding the same deputy sheriff walked back in the room and sort of bullied her. That's the understanding.
You're exactly correct. This is a young lady who was 18 who stood up and asked the two men that were standing there, "Are y'all not going to do something about this? Don't you see what's going on? Do you think this is right? Are y'all not going to do something?" She was told several times to sit down. She said, "Are you not going to do anything?" The officer, after beating up Shakar, walked out of the classroom, came back in, looked at this 18-year-old female, and pointed in her face, this child, and said, "You want some of this too?" And she said, "No, sir," and turned around and got handcuffed and was taken to jail.
Amazing. Attorney Rutherford, thank you so much. We'll be in touch. We'll stay in touch. I really appreciate you taking the time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, and thank you, listeners.
Okay. All right. Wow.